Here are 5 signs you grew up feeling emotionally unsafe. And what you can do about this. Obviously, this is another really important question we want to answer. So, if you're curious, my friend, if you feel emotionally unsafe around people, and if you feel like you're constantly closing when you're around others, and it's like you cannot trust them, right? You cannot even trust that they have your best interest at heart, and you found that sometimes you might be a little bit biased. Well, stay with me until the end of the video, because you not only find the reason of why this is the case, of why it's still happening, but you might also find a way on how you can parent your inner child so that you can give it the safety and security it already craves and it already wants. That being the case, let's directly get into the topic. So here are some of the 5 signs, and yeah, I'll have that whiteboard with me so you can also look at them here, and I can make the process of shooting this video easier for me. So first of all, you might have noticed how you over apologize, right? So have you seen that? You're always apologizing, even when you haven't done anything that's your fault. So maybe you are waiting at a queue and at the supermarket, and it's like maybe somebody pushes you from the back, and then you look them back and you say sorry, even though you haven't done anything, they've pushed you. Or let's say you're crossing the street, and like a car comes, and it comes really close to the cross sign on the street, and then you look at them feeling a little bit guilty, and you say inwardly, I apologize. So have you noticed something like that, that you over apologize? Because if you notice something like that, my friend, well, this is a clear sign that you have grown up in an emotionally unsafe environment. And so it's like your inner child always assumes that there is danger, and since it doesn't want to face that danger, it wants to apologize beforehand, even though it might not even be guilty. So this is the first sign. Now going forward, you might also see that, and I can genuinely say this has been true for me for a really long time. You avoid conflict at all costs. It's like you cannot perceive the opportunity to be in a conflicting conversation with somebody, meaning that you just have different separate opinions on the topic. They might be contradictory opinions, and this creates a conflicting experience, right? And so whenever something like that happens, or whenever there is the chance of it happening, you try to run away as fast as you can. It's like you don't even want to get into such a situation, because if you do, then things might run bad. They might get bad, right? So it's not safe. And you never enter conflicts. Whenever they're around, you just run away, you delegate responsibility, you're just not there. And now, if this is the case, my friend, then this stops you from a lot of intimacy and restricts you from creating emotional depth with the close people in your life. Because it's obvious, it's really like it's part of our human experience that, for example, I have a certain opinion on a conversation, on a topic we are having a conversation about, and you have a different opinion on it. And so we have conflicting opinions. And this creates a little conflict, the potential of conflict. And now, if you always run from this kind of situations, well, first of all, you will never be able to learn from others. And second of all, it's like you will miss the opportunity to get to know the other person a little bit better. Because through conflict, you create intimacy. Now, this is something that you might not necessarily accept and even understand as I'm saying it right now, but by working with this belief. So if you say to yourself inwardly, I am afraid of conflict, and stay here, how does your body feel? If you feel some form of resistance, maybe in your abdomen or wherever it is in your body, if you feel some form of resistance, this means that you're afraid of it, genuinely, honestly. So it really is a great practice if you can just stay for a while with these feelings and inquire to yourself inwardly, is conflict something really dangerous? Or is conflict just the two people having contradictory opinions about a topic they're discussing? What is conflict really? Does conflict endanger my survival? Or does it just show me that I'm having a different opinion than the other person? So what is conflict? I would highly encourage you to inquire about it, because if you accept that conflict is kind of inevitable in human encounters, well, you have a completely different attitude in your relationship. You wouldn't be running away from it, and you wouldn't be trying to hide from it. And so when it happens, you actually be able to help other people in it. So let me share with you a story. Before 2 or 3 years, I was really afraid of it. And what happened was that life was consistently reflecting to me conflicting situations with my roommate I was living with. And so I was always entering conflict with other people in which I didn't have anything to do. Like, I wasn't responsible for nobody in this company, in this social circle. But either way, because I was afraid of it, I was afraid of conflict, life was always introducing me to conflicting situations. And eventually, like, I was really frustrated this was happening, but eventually in meditation, I had this epiphany. Maybe if life is constantly introducing me to conflicting situations, maybe I'm here to learn a lesson from that. And maybe I'm here to ease and to relax that conflict. Because if I'm able to understand everybody's feelings, because I'm really empathetic and sensitive, and this is also something that we'll talk about in a moment, well, then maybe if I express how everybody feels and how I feel and how like the people in conflict feel, I might actually help the other people to start accepting themselves, like with greater intensity, with greater depth. So conflict isn't something as bad as I think it was. Conflict is actually a vehicle for intimacy. Now, I'm not saying that you realize the same thing, but it's definitely worth a try to inquire whether conflict is dangerous or whether this is just an illusory idea. So this is the second sign, my friends, the second sign that you have grown up in a family that wasn't emotionally safe. Now, going forward, the third one, it's really fun. It's really interesting. The third one is that, let's say you enter in a room with a lot of people. You go to a bar, you go to a coffee, you go to a meeting with your coworkers, and you always carefully scan the room when you're around others, and you try to see whether there is somebody who is who looks a little bit angry and perceive them as a threat, or whether there is somebody who, I don't know, who has a dominant posture, and so again it might be a threat. So whenever your awareness is always on the outside to other people, scanning them, looking how their body posture looks like, what is their facial expression like, and trying to assume what are they thinking about, what are they intending. You do that to ensure yourself that you're in a safe environment. And this happens unconsciously. So if you've noticed yourself that you're doing something like that, check in. Next time it happens, check in with yourself and ask yourself, why am I doing it? Am I afraid that everybody else is there to get me? Am I afraid that everybody wants the worst for me? Like everybody wants to do me, to harm me? Is that true? Or am I assuming and creating this chaos in my life? Am I so distrustful of people? Or are there some people who genuinely, by heart, have my best interests at heart? So again, inquire. Why is it that when you enter a room with other people, you carefully scan how everybody feels, how everybody looks, what are they thinking about? And before you open yourself up to being you as you are, like spontaneously expressing who you are, you try to inquire whether it's safe or not. Well, the reason it happens is again this, because part of you is afraid that there are a lot of bad people here that are out to get you. And this idea, it's a limiting belief. It doesn't serve you as much as you think it does. It served your inner child, but now it doesn't serve you as a grown-up. So going forward, the fourth thing you will notice is that you get very, very frustrated when you can't make somebody else feel better. Because, well, empaths, the sensitives, like people just like you and me, we try to be the saviors of the world. We always try to help others. We always try to be there for others. We always try to serve them as much as we could, even if this means that we will abandon ourselves for the greater good of another. And so, like, when you can't help somebody because they don't want to be helped, you get really frustrated and angry, thinking that you did something wrong. But let me share with you a secret, my friend. It's not only your responsibility. The people you're trying to help, they must make the choice inwardly that they want to help themselves before you can help them. So when they reject your help, your offer, your opportunity to help them, well, don't take it so personally. It might be their own inability to trust others. It might be their own self-responsibility, right? So don't take it so personally. You're not here to save everybody. First, look for yourself and then try to save others. So the fifth sign, the last sign, is that, well, you always try to please others by overextending yourself. So you might completely forget your boundaries, your values, and you might compromise your values and your needs for others. So if you can help somebody else, if you can fulfill their needs, if you can meet their expectations, you would eagerly do so, even if this means to compromise your own needs, values, and boundaries. So you overextend yourself to others. This is not healthy at all. You cannot just expect to receive. You cannot just, forgive me, you cannot just expect to give to others and never allow yourself and give yourself permission to receive. Because relationships, like healthy relationships, both people in these healthy relationships play a role. So you cannot always give and like be the victim of somebody who is the perpetrator and is like using you emotionally. You should give yourself permission to ask for help. Not only to ask for help, but to demand that your needs are met if it's a like more intimate relationship with, let's say, a lover. So yeah, it's like you cannot only overextend yourself and always overextend yourself to please others. It's not healthy. It will totally ruin your health of mind. So it's worth it to give it a try to also ask for your needs, to set boundaries in place, to say no from time to time. I can't tell you of how much help and support that would be to you. And now going through all these 5 signs, now you might be wondering, okay, shit, yeah, truly, I might have grown up in an emotionally unsafe environment. And I know it's okay. By the way, it's totally okay. I did too. Like in 1/3 of my childhood was a war zone between my mother and father. So I know what this feels like. But my friend, there are so many steps you can take to take responsibility of your own healing. And the first and most important thing I want you to remember, and I'll put it here so you can see it, right? You are already in a relationship with yourself, and you should never forget that. You're always here for yourself. This is something that you cannot run away from. You can run away from conflict, but you can't run away from the conflict you have with yourself, because you're always here, right? You're always here. You always know what you're doing, consciously or unconsciously. So if you're always in a relationship with yourself, then this presumes that you should start taking care of yourself the way you want to take care of others. And now I wanna guide you to another video I have in which I explain to you how you can heal the wound of abandonment. Because if you resonated with some of what I shared in this video, I'm sure that you will find this other video really helpful and also really practical. Inside you learn some of the things you can try to heal the wound of abandonment and put yourself first before trying to help and save everybody else. That being the case, my friend, I want to thank you so much for watching, for staying with me until the end. I really trust you found this video to be helpful. Now, if this is true, like it, comment down below. Let me know what is your experience with experiencing unsafe environment growing up, if you need help with that. you can always schedule a free discovery session with me in the comment section, not the comment section, in the description below. You'll find the link where we can get on a call and discuss on how you can, on the best steps you can take to embark on your healing journey. So if you need help with that, definitely reach out. It's free and it will be something really valuable. And now, again, thank you so much for staying with me. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, and I'll see you around in the next video. Bye bye for now. Enjoy your day, my friend.